Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how the ones around you who are following the opposition playbook, they want to trauma bond you guys together, you know. And if you know what trauma bonding is, you already understand that it is a deep, emotional, and painful affliction, but it's done in the means of creating a bond. But instead of creating a bond that's built on trust, honesty, growth, you know, sincerity, loyalty, instead of a relationship that's built on all of these things, that forms a bond, you know, every time a situation shows, you know, or presents itself, they show their honesty, you know what I'm saying, that builds strength. They show their loyalty, boom, that shows strength. They show their honesty, that builds and shows strength, you know, and growth. The trauma bonding is the opposite of what was just being discussed. So the trauma bonding is going to be more so of sleep deprivation, you know what I'm saying. It's going to be a lot of emotional conversations. It's going to be a lot of sneaky shit done behind the scenes and closed doors. It's a lot of gaslighting and manipulation in the process, you know what I mean. So when you are dealing with these trauma bond situations and beings who want to trauma bond you to them, you just have to understand, like, they only can do what you allow. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you live in their space, they only can do what you're willing to give energy back to. You know what I'm saying? So they cannot argue with you if you're not arguing with them. Their only next step is to try to kick you out. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you're not living in the house with them, then they don't have the kick out step. You know, they only have the combative conversations, which really they aren't that combative. So for me, before I moved in with a being, it wasn't as combative. And then once I get in this position with a certain being, they become more combative. It's because they become more comfortable with allowing their mask to slip and show. And you can actually see how disgusting some of these people are, you know. Even with them doing some of the quote-unquote nicest things that they could possibly do, you still have to become a dump wastebasket for them as well, you know. So that's like a huge reason in why they have to trauma bond you. And when they trauma bond you to them, it's like creating a soul tie. You know what I mean? So then they're always gonna have this long bond with you in the spiritual realm. So even after you separate from them, they'll still be crossing your spiritual path. You know what I'm saying? There might be something y'all seen together or done together, you know, that's gonna flash a memory of them across you. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is they do they can do a handful of things that's nice gesture, but when the mask slip, it almost counters all of that shit that they was doing. Because when the mask slip is so demonic and disgusting and witchy, and you can see and feel and read how evil this being is, you know, or where they're receiving their information is, how evil their team is, you know what I mean? Like, it seems as if the trauma bond has been more of the legitimate way of building bonds out here. Friendships, parents to kids, you know, siblings, like all of that shit just seems like a superficial way of kind of in an ill-intentional way of building bonds. You know what I mean? So, and then once you also have, like, because I did the videos on knowing it's safe, you know, new levels, new devils. So just because y'all, you know, we out here and we know knowledge and a little bit more information, you know, and trying to apply it and use it wisely, doesn't mean that we're not still getting attacked, you know, that we aren't still facing our own many fears, you know what I'm saying, and our own obstacles and battles. But the thing is with that, you know, you weigh out the battles and what you're gonna weigh on somebody else and what you're not. So, like, for some beings who live in with witchy motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, you may wake up and say you're not in the best mood and you just trying to fix your energy, you know what I'm saying. You could have not got much sleep or something. Anything could have happened, you know what I'm saying. You waking up something on your spirit. But then this being wakes up and then they start spewing all this weird energy on you, you know what I'm saying. And it's kind of pulling you or trying to pull you in a lower state. And you really didn't want to go into that space, so now you find yourself getting a little bit more riled up, or you're actually engaging with them and giving them way more energy than what you planned on even giving them. You know what I'm saying? You could have been watching a video or reading a book, and now they coming over there asking, can you help them look for something that's they lost, but you have bigger things on the table. You know what I mean? And now you got a whole back and forth situation going on. These are subtle things that they do to trauma bond you, you know, to kind of sleep deprive you. I know for me, I had took somebody fucking wind chimes down because I'm sleeping up near the window, so it's kind of close. So I'm like, the chimes had woke me up the first night or two, you know what I'm saying? So I had took the chimes down. A week or two later, the chimes were placed right back up in a different location. You know what I mean? And it's like they do intentional things to try to sleep deprive you. You know, it's all kind of things to kind of trauma bond you into feeling guilty about staying in the situation with them. Almost because they know that they're shitty beings. And you know you're a lot wiser and more intelligent, but now it's like you done invested time and energy, you know what I'm saying? So you really didn't want to pull out or tap out, but you know what's going to have to happen. It's just you try to prevent the inevitable by hanging in there and hoping and doing all these things in the spiritual realm that kind of keeps you in those positions to kind of stay trauma bonded to beings, you know what I mean? And the thing is, when people want to grow and learn, if I'm trying to grow and learn, right? And let's say I'm fucking my teacher at the school, right? And I'm trying to grow and learn. And she's trying to teach me lessons outside of school. Why would I look at her as if she's any less valid because she's not in the classroom? Just because I'm engaging with her sexually doesn't mean that I would take her information less valid. She still put the time and work in. So for me to be an honest being who's taking the greater good playbook, I would look at it, okay, I don't care if you're giving me my lessons in the schoolroom or if you're giving me my lessons in the bedroom or on the couch. Your lesson still has the same validity to it. But these other beings who trauma bond to you, they don't care if you're teaching or if you're learning or if you know the experience. In their world, it's their way. And if it's not their way, they'll wiggle it around and they'll bend and fold with you a little bit. But while they're bending and folding with you, it's gonna be other shit that's going on in the process too, you know what I mean? So it's like it's gonna be hard to build and grow on a healthy scale with people who just solely want to trauma bond you. And some of the people don't even know that they trauma bonding you, you know, because of the playbook that they're using. You know, when you're receiving information, it's telling you, oh, search through this phone, you know, to find out if they're cheating. Like, that information is coming from the bad team. It doesn't matter how insecure or how you feel in the inside. Bitch, get the fuck away. My nigga, get the fuck away. It doesn't matter. So if you're getting that information that's telling you to search and dig and do that kind of thing, you have to understand that that's the witchy team giving you that information, because the greater good is going to tell you, okay, well, if you feel as if you have to go through their phone or their shit, then it's time for you to reevaluate your relationship with that being. You know what I'm saying? And that's no different than when you talking about parents, you know what I'm saying, just not being supportive or being there, or just only being there in traumatic situations, you know what I'm saying. I had a situation a little while ago where, like, my mom, she'd come pick me up from getting pulled over, but then I'm in the car having a breakdown and she jumps out the car and leaves the driver door open, you know, to the point to where it's just like she gave no fucks about me. You know, she did the physical part of picking me up, but as far as my emotional support, my spiritual support, seeing where I'm at and trying to help me in that area, she don't give no fucks. And it's okay if she don't give no fucks, you know what I'm saying? But I understand what it is out here, and we should all get to a place of understanding that we at war. You know what I'm saying? We at war. It's going down. It is going down out here. So be mindful of your friends and peers who trauma bonding you as well too. You know what I'm saying? You may have some buddies who only want to go to the bar and the club with you, you know what I'm saying? But every time you go to the bar or club, it's always some weird situation where this nigga done talked to somebody girl and now they got beef going on, you know what I'm saying? Or this nigga, he always want to instigate shit when he go out, just looking at people to see if they looking at him like, nigga, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? How do you go out into a public place and get mad for people looking at you when you're looking at them? I wouldn't know if anybody looking at me if I'm not looking at them. That's just common sense. You know what I'm saying? That's no different than somebody stepping on your shoe while you out in the club, nigga. Like, they're your feet. You're in a club. You know, so those are ways to trauma bond people. If you go out with them and y'all get in a fight every week and every other week, and now you feel like as if they gonna ride for you or they know that you gonna ride for them. You know what I'm saying? And it is kind of true to a certain degree, you know what I'm saying? Because now y'all have that established. Like, when I create drama and smoke, my nigga gonna pull up right here and he gonna be with all the smoke with me, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run it up too long, you know what I'm saying? Be mindful of the beings around you that is looking to trauma bond you, you know what I'm saying? It should be, your relationship should be built on trust, loyalty, honesty, you know, some kind of high principle morals and values that go with this playbook over here, the greater good. You know what I'm saying? Any other combative shit and shit that's not clear and confusion, it's witchy. You know what I'm saying? It's witchy. There's no other way around it. You know what I'm saying? But tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.